respected when he was dismissed in the wake of the Sandusky allegations and charges. I figured that was enough of a fall. I mean, I didn't think it would come to this. He's been charged. He could end up in jail. He's been charged with perjury. That's one of those big-time felonies. Obstruction of justice. That'd be another. Conspiracy. And endangering the welfare of children. I don't know, but, anybody who thinks that this story, with Sandusky having been moved to the place he's going to spend the rest of his life and die, and being held essentially in solitary because the other inmates would likely rip him to shreds. Anyone who thought that with his conviction and imprisonment that this would go away, wow. It's now hitting up at the top. So what do Spaniers' attorneys do? They immediately lash out at Governor Tom Corbett and suggest that all of this is a political ploy to distract and detract from the fact that Corbett was derelict in his duties as Attorney General for not charging Sandusky sooner. Here is what Spanier's attorney said, in case you missed it. This is some very heated rhetoric, guys. Today's presentment is the latest desperate act by Governor Tom Corbett to cover up and direct attention away from the fact that he failed to warn the Penn State community about the suspicion surrounding Jerry Sandusky, and instead knowingly allowed a child predator to roam free in Pennsylvania. This is going to get very ugly. The governor's people shot back. Graham Spanier's statement is the ranting of a man who has just been indicted for covering up for a convicted pedophile. His arrogance reveals a man who has just found out that he is not above the law after all. Back to Spanier's attorneys. They have said that Governor Corbett was seen, and his staff were seen celebrating at a State College restaurant after Spanier was dismissed. We also have been made aware that Corbett was furious that Dr. Spanier was seen hosting his opponent for governor, Dan Honorato, in the president's box at a home football game during the campaign. They're saying Corbett is just out to smash Spanier, finish him off, and to keep inquiring minds and eyes at bay from his behavior in regard to Sandusky. All right, that's gonna be something. And interesting sidebar about Cynthia Baldwin, of course, hails from here. She was the attorney for Penn State, about how Spanier played her, essentially. That's at least what the Attorney General is saying. That, believe me, it gets, if you want to get into it, oh my God, you guys, you're emailing so much. Let me try to catch up on it, okay?
I had a video problem, but I fixed it.
Uh-oh. There's a video problem?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
But there was. That might be what's over here.
Russ asks, if the economy is so bad, How can they afford a record for campaign funding? Well, because the economy that's so bad is so bad for the 99%, for the 47%, whatever percent you want, but it ain't bad for these deep-pocketed gazillionaires who are the ones who assaulting us right now with this crap. These are those PACs that are funding this mostly. Yes, the RNC, yes, the Romney campaign, but the Koch brothers and God knows who else. You see the little names at the bottom. That's fun, brought to you by, thank you very much. These, names for apple pie and the Association for Apple Pie and Motherhood, that kind of crap. What it is it's some unbelievably rich Republican who's trying to buy Romney, Pennsylvania. Do not listen. Do not listen. This is what the Roberts Supreme Court unleashed on American democracy. The rich who already have advantages, huge advantages. The Supreme Court gave an unbelievable advantage in terms of their ability as a citizen to affect the election. And that does not strike me as beneficial to a functional democracy. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this is people saying they lost me. Well, I hope I'm back.
You are.
I'm back! Okay, I'm back. Also want to tell you that coming in a few minutes, we're going to do an update on the McMurtry sisters, Haiti, the orphanage. Remember, that was, what was that? Ed Rendell was governor then. He's the one who swept down to Haiti after their unbelievable earthquake to help rescue those orphans that Jamie and Allie McMurtry of Pittsburgh got out. All of them now adopted. Anyway, they have not abandoned Haiti. They are back. We're going to get an update, and it's very interesting because they're not exactly doing what they used to do. Things have changed. And always a fascinating story to talk to these two incredible young women. So they will be coming in. Just trying to see if I can. Don't know if you saw. This is a fascinating piece too that we'll be watching. That there is a case in court in what county is that? Washington County, where the shale, natural gas and fracking is going on so much. And someone there has brought a case saying that the state did not adequately inform them of the pollution that was occurring in their drinking water. And now you've got a state rep calling for an investigation. Interestingly, what you've got here is in this case, some of the Department of Environmental Protection. That's always, it's a misnomer when Republicans are in control because they ain't into environmental protection. The Department of Environmental Pollution, which is what it is under Republicans, one of their directors had to testify under oath, and get this. She testified that, let's say a homeowner in Washington County suspects that their water has been tainted because of fracking or something. They then can call the DEP, they can send a sample, and then the DEP does the lab work on it and then tells them what they found in the water. Under oath, this DEP director said this: the DEP's lab tests water samples for a full battery of contaminants, but it limits the number reported to the property owner. So in other words, they find out what's in the water, And yet, by directive of, this is under testimony, by directive of the Department's Office of Oil and Gas Management, they are not to report to that homeowner if they have found, get this, heavy metals, including lithium, cobalt, chromium, boron, and titanium, some of which, of course, are human carcinogens and are toxics, as well as volatile organic compounds that are associated with hydraulic fracking fluids. In other words, the Corbett DEP says, sure, send your water samples in. We'll see if we're poisoning you. And then we'll tell you what's in the water, except we won't tell you if we find stuff that's poisoning you. How is this even possible? So you got this case going on in Washington County where the plaintiffs are saying that they face serious health problems, increased risk of cancer due to the exposure of toxic chemicals in their air and water from the drilling sites they live near, and their efforts to exactly ascertain what was in their water are stymied by the very department that is supposed to inform them. Under oath, this DEP employee testified that the DEP's lab found aluminum, copper, silicon, lithium, molybdenum, zinc, nickel, cobalt, titanium, and boron in this poor guy's water, drinking water. He's the one who sent it in. Kiskadden, his name is. But they did not report those contaminants to him or their own department's water quality specialist. She also said that the lab found volatile organic compounds that are components of fracking fluid in his water. But in their letter to this guy who's drinking this crap, they have now said that obviously there was some laboratory error and concluded that his water was not contaminated. I don't know. All I know is this is the first I've read of this. This is unbelievable. This looks, even for Republicans and even for their Department of Environmental Pollution, this sounds particularly mind-bogglingly outrageous. The reason somebody would send in a water sample, fearing that, is to know exactly what they refuse to tell them. Do I have heavy metals? Do I have fracking fluid? Do I have carcinogens? Do I have toxins? Well, we'll ascertain that, and if we find any of those things, we won't tell you. That is a Republican Department of Environmental Protection. What it is the Department of Gas and Oil Industry Protection, because that's what Republicans do with government. They turn it on its head so that it no longer does what it's supposed to do, which is serve the people. It instead serves the people's bosses. Representative Jesse White has called for a federal investigation. I'm with him. This is beyond outrageous, he says. Anyone who relied on the DEP for the truth about whether their water has been impacted by drilling activity has apparently been intentionally deprived of critical health and safety information by their own government. Outrageous! Hey, let's elect more Republicans. They're doing such a great job. I'll take a break.
More is on the way with Lynn Cullen Live.
In a world where the GOP presidential campaign was mind-numbingly long,
On next election day, you can say no to hope and change and choose the better way.
and the president revealed his true intentions.
If I tax each rich man, oh Solyndra, I could lend you all the cash.
Isn't it nice to know that you can laugh at all of them? Come see the Capitol Steps.
November 4th at the Byam Theater. Tickets on sale at trustarts.org and 412-456-6666.
Go to bergbargains.com for great deals. 2012 Best of Pittsburgh winners. This week, get discounts on the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, Pittsburgh Opera's Don Giovanni, Nakama, Dozen, and Piccolo Forno. bergbargains.com. Pittsburgh's e-commerce mall. bergbargains.com.
Now, it's back to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com.
Are we back? Okay, we're back and dealing with logistics here. Yeah, let's pull that over and let's try to get both of you in here.
Okay.
They're skinnies.
Yeah,
And I'll pull off a little bit. Here, you'll have to share that one.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, God, you're so cute. Here they are, the McMutry sisters. And
in a little bit more.
who?
All of you.
All of you. Here. Allie, you come this way. Come this way.
This doesn't.
There's another. Oh, God, I can't go anymore. Okay.
At least we're all.
Hello. Here we are. Here we are. You just lean in as much as you can, okay? And we got to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Okay. Yeah, way too long.
I've never been here. This is my first
You have never been here. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
You've always done the duty, the
Yeah.
media duty. Okay, so, it seems like a million years ago to me. I don't know how it seems to you. How many years has it been since the earthquake in Haiti?
almost 3. In January it'll be 3.
Almost 3. Okay.
And it does. Sometimes it feels like a million years. Sometimes it feels like last week.
Yep.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. I'm wondering if the devastation going on because of the storm affects you more than it might affect. I mean, it's almost like I'm suggesting, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Does it really freak you out emotionally?
We were talking about that. Well, the hurricane did pass through Haiti.
And I wanted
On
to
its
mention
way
that
up
actually
here.
Sandy, did a little swipe at Haiti.
It wasn't a hurricane yet, but
It was a big tropical storm.
right, and a lot of rain and wind, which when you live in huts isn't good. So all of our families are doing well. They just got wet, and it comes in the house, but nothing major. But yeah.
Well, they still haven't. I mean, Haiti hasn't even come close to recovering from the devastation of the
No, it
of the
hasn't
earthquake.
come close. And what is recovery for Haiti? Is it getting back to what it was before the earthquake?
Which is devastated to
It's
start
just
with.
devastation, yeah. So.
Okay, so when last we spoke, you guys, I don't know if last we spoke, but you had managed unbelievably to get all your kids out, right?
Right.
They are now all adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
Yes.
And then you turned around and waded right back in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but in a different manner, right?
Yeah.
So tell us what you're doing now, because it's not an orphanage that you're running anymore, right?
Right.
What's happening?
So I'll kind of start, and Jamie will fill in the blanks. Because of our experience there in an orphanage, so we had been there for over 6 years at the time of the earthquake, and worked really, really closely with the families who came to give their children up for adoption. And what we learned during that time is we don't know an actual number, but most of the time they are giving their children up out of complete misery. They're in a situation where they have no other option. They feel they have no other option. And they've come to this point where they think all they can do is give their child up for a chance at a better life, for a chance to get back on their feet. They literally...
Or the child's going to die because it's sick and they can't afford medicine.
They can't feed it.
And an orphanage offers that.
Okay, so right away, this idea that we have of an orphan
Right, it's not.
is not what you're dealing with in
There are some.
Haiti. And there are some,
Right.
but many, right?
Most of the
and
cases
most
that we
have
saw.
at least one parent.
Exactly.
Or even a grandparent or an aunt or uncle that
They have a
willing to
loving
take-
person related, but who does not have the means.
Right,
So they have to give up the child.
right.
I can't imagine the emotional pain of that.
And when we first started working in Haiti, We had no idea. We thought orphans, right?
Right.
The family
Like-
dies and the child's left.
The child has no option. But like I said, just, you learn, live and learn. And so being there all those years, we learned the truth about what was really going on. So as much as we could in the position we were in, which before the earthquake, we didn't have our own organization. We were volunteers for a Haitian organization. So we would work to, work with the families and do some counseling. But we still had, 100 and some kids living with us. So it kind of didn't get the amount of attention that we would have liked to have given it. After the earthquake, all the kids left Haiti. So all the kids that we were responsible for
We're now
in good hands.
Yeah.
We're safe.
Right.
We knew we wanted to go back and be as committed as ever, but knew that it was going to look really, really different. But it was very natural that our kind of mission moved more towards working with these families to keep it from happening, to keep kids from being given up in the first place.
So rather than the focus changed from rather than taking these children and finding them a good home, you decided to try to make the home they have the good home,
Right.
and keep those children in Haiti with their own families.
Exactly.
Well, now, how do you... So that's a totally different... That's like you're being a social service agency.
It is,
Kind
and
of.
we did do it some before the earthquake. When people would come knock on our door, we would help them find a solution. But the other organization that we were working with would encourage them to give the child up. So we were in a place where we've always believed in this, but had some.
Well, you were working for somebody who had a
Right.
different mission.
Exactly.
So now you're on your own,
So
and
now
you're
we
trying to
can
do
do
this.
that.
Right.
Your organization is called
Haitian Families First.
Haitian Families First. And did you have to then find your own... I mean, first of all, how are you funded, and where are you located? I mean, what physical... you have your own building or an office, or how does that work now?
We have a house that we rent in Haiti that we live in, and we have temporary care for children that are really sick, or we have some families, grandmothers that have never seen a baby bottle. So they come and stay for a month and learn how to prepare bottles, and so that is in our house. And then we also have our office inside of our house, and it's in Port-au-Prince.
Okay.
And then we also have a base, not a physical base in Pittsburgh, but our board is based in Pittsburgh, and we have people that are working here. Our funding comes from mostly small donors, people that care about our work at $10, $20 a month. Nothing big.
Well, you guys became sort of international celebrities after the earthquake. I mean, what? I saw you in what national magazines?
Really?
Didn't I?
I don't know.
In Glamour,
We
I
didn't
think
see
that was-
half
Yes,
of
I
it.
did.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw... What do you mean?
I forget.
Really? You really don't remember? And weren't you on? You were on the Ellen show. I mean, you got
Yeah.
all this attention.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the assumption is that with all that attention, you guys must have attracted a lot of, well, funding.
That's what
that has to
everybody
be a
thinks.
misconception.
Yeah, it didn't
I
happen.
think a lot of people think that we have a lot of money, so they don't think about supporting us.
Yeah.
That's our assumption, because people always say you must have millions of dollars, and that did not happen.
Yeah, we definitely, some support came in right after the earthquake. So
Yes.
we got a big chunk of support. And we've been going for 2.5 years now, mostly on earthquake support money that we've made last. I always say this, and when my dad hears this, he'll get mad, but we know how to be frugal. I won't use the word cheap. Last time I used the word cheap,
He
and I
doesn't
got in
like
trouble.
cheap. No.
I said my
Frugal.
dad's the cheapest man in the world. No, we're good at, making those dollars count, because you never know. You never know if people are going to continue to support,
Well, you have an opportunity. This is why they're here. There is a fundraiser for the organization Haitian Families First tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, at the Elixir. What's it called? Elixir
Ultra Lounge.
Ultra
Yeah.
Lounge, down on the south side, 15th and Carson, and $12 gets you in the door and get you a free drink and get you a candy bar. Get this. I don't mean a candy bar. I mean like a salad bar, only it's candy. So
Exactly.
oh, what a great idea.
And all the other desserts you can imagine.
And all the other desserts you can imagine. And jewelry and other crafts that are made by the people in Haiti, and raffles and things like that. And this is the effort to get some money to keep the work going.
Yeah, and
so you're invited.
This is actually our 5th annual. So we've had this event since
every
before
year.
anyone even knew who we were. This was always our event that we had in Pittsburgh, mostly to keep family and friends just involved and have them feel like they had a way to support. But hopefully it's bigger and better this year.
Now, one of the things that you're trying to do is get the children educations, right? And if somebody would want to, say, help you get a child to school for a year, we're talking elementary school or high school,
And all levels.
all levels. How much does that would cost in Haiti? I mean, is it?
It's about $180 a year. That includes tuition, books, uniform, and they get not a meal, but a snack every day at school. And
so those are private schools, or
there aren't public schools.
There are no public schools?
There are a few. This new government is just starting to put some, but it's for a couple hundred kids. It's not a lot. So most families can't afford it.
So most kids there do not go to school.
Most kids don't go to school.
The cost of tuition, so $180, which to us, that's like, no way. That's it for a whole year. That's 2 or 3 months' salary for the average working Haitian.
And most aren't working.
Right.
Especially the families that we work with.
Of course.
They're the poorest.
So that's an impossible thing. So,
and a lot,
so in other words, $180 to you can put a child in school for a year.
So, for example, we have a baby that was referred to us. He's almost a year old. He has an aunt and uncle, because he's living with his grandmother. His mom died. And they're 15 and 9, and they went to kindergarten. That's all that they could afford. So the 15-year-old is now catching up. We're getting him tutors and stuff, but he's in 1st grade. And it's just because they couldn't afford it.
A lot of times, too, when there's multiple children in the family, they'll choose a child, that gets to go to school, and the other ones stay home and work, and it's really sad. And every kid, obviously, should have the opportunity to go, and it's so doable for us.
Now, you did. I've been told that Pittsburghers were very generous through what? Social media? What happened?
We had a shortage of 46 of our children. We didn't have enough money to send them to school. And so Allie and our Pittsburgh board set up a campaign to try and get Pittsburghers to send them to school, and it was very last minute. And
we kind of put that idea that it's this amount that is very doable for most people here. Even if we encourage people to join up with friends, everyone pitch in $20, and a group of however many friends are sending a kid to school, and it was all through social media. So we put the idea out on Twitter. We have these kids that go to school. We might be asking for your help. And then the next day or so, I created little profiles with a picture and some info about these kids and put that out there. And people just really connected to that immediately. Seeing these, this list of kids, these actual children who Jamie and I know and we work with every day that wouldn't get to go to school otherwise. And we reached our goal of sending the 46 kids to school in 6 days.
6 days you got the funding from just ordinary old people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. So, okay.
Pittsburgh is a great place.
Pittsburgh's a generous place. Well, if somebody were to want to send you money, how do they do that?
The easiest way is to visit our website, so HaitianFamiliesFirst.org. We have, the option of donating whatever you can, and then we also have some sponsorship programs. So if people want to do a small monthly donation, whatever.
Yeah, there's different levels for babies. It's more expensive to take care of a baby, or you can sponsor a child to go to school, and you can do it monthly rather than give $180 all at once. So
there's ways. Because HaitianFamiliesFirst.org. I got to get a break in here, but we're coming back.
Okay.
I have Allie and Jamie McMutry with me. These are these extraordinary young women who have essentially pledged their lives and their futures for the children and families of Haiti. We'll be back.
Stick around for more with Lynn Cullen Live after this.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a pep talk that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You can improve your future. Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and for free classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Pittsburgh City Paper's Art Box Preview is available now. Pick up one today for Nego Gatto, the Capitol Steps, and Passion Pit. And don't forget to log on to pghcitypaper.com to vote for your favorite art box. Pittsburgh City Paper, available at over 1,700 locations throughout Western Pennsylvania, and on the web at pghcitypaper.com, and on your smartphone at citypapermobile.com.
Winter has arrived and it's cold outside, so get to Little's for all your UGG needs. Little's has Uggs for men, women, and children to stay warm with shearling-lined boots, shoes, and slippers. And don't forget to get your hats, gloves, scarves, and more, all available at Little's Shoes. Bring the entire family to view one of the largest in-store UGG shops in the U.S. Little's Shoes, Pittsburgh's largest family shoe store, 5850 Forbes Avenue in Squirrel Hill.
Have a question or an opinion? Call Lynn Cullen at 412-316-3381 or email lynn at pghcitypaper.com. Now, more with Lynn Cullen Live.
Here. This is Jamie and this is Allie. I'm pulling. Jamie, come on in here. They don't need to see me. Okay, there you go. Jamie and Allie McMutry of Haitian Families First. I want to talk to you a little bit because I read the piece in Pittsburgh Magazine, right?
Online.
Or online? Is that what it was about you? And you really have a story to tell about what happened after. It's personal,
yeah.
But if you don't mind, I mean, I interviewed you after,
yeah,
pretty much immediately after. See, but you said before you don't
honestly, like,
you do not remember.
That's probably a tiny bit of an exaggeration. So it's not like I have memory loss, but it's all just kind of this part of life that I've like put in this category. So the last time I talked to you is part of that.
It's a time when you just sort of emotionally shut down.
Kind of.
You had to.
Yeah.
You thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you did have to.
Right. And in hindsight, I should have like dealt with that, but I was so involved in what we were doing and, you know, trying to just get back to normal that I didn't deal with any of the things I had gone through for like 2 years.
Yeah, less people forget when the governor flew down to get you guys out of there,
mm-hmm.
and your kids. You're at the airport amidst all of this extraordinary chaos. You've got the kids loaded on. Da, 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 da. One kid is found to be missing,
mm-hmm.
and this one,
mm-hmm.
right, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
You go tearing off the plane
Mm-hmm.
because you weren't going to leave. You had to find that kid.
Yeah.
As soon as you go tearing off the plane, this one says, we can't go without her. This was an unbelievable, terrifying, I can't even conceive of it. What ended up happening there? And
yeah,
what was the end result? They left without you?
Oh, yeah.
Explain what happened. And this is where probably, Allie, where you were just...
Yeah, I was already
yourself.
beside myself. It had been, 6 days.
You'd survived an earthquake.
Right. No sleep, no food.
More, I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but more than me getting off the plane is Emma was actually missing, and they were kidnapping children in order to get American visas. So people were taking children off the street and going and saying they were Americans and getting on planes with them.
Yeah.
So for a moment, we thought that's what happened.
In my head, because Jamie jumped off the plane as the stairs were coming up, and the plane literally started to take off. And in my head, Emma's gone. I knew Jamie, like, the military was there, and we're going to take care of her, and we knew that. But I remember, she had to go through the whole process of finding her, getting back. She was at the embassy, asleep on a chair.
We just miscounted.
But definitely for the whole flight, anybody on the flight, they thought I was just not even going to make it because I was such a mess. And we were up in the air, so we couldn't find out what had happened until we landed.
So that whole trip back, you're literally hysterical. You're not.
That was hell, yeah.
Hell.
That was probably part of the worst of the whole week in hindsight, yeah.
So I missed that part.
No, you were just
caused that part. Who counted?
We counted so many times.
There were hundreds of children with their parents at the embassy with us in
must
the
have
same
just
room,
been
so
chaos.
someone else was probably in our line.
When we counted on the plane, it was one of those military planes where the kids line up the walls, and I had my checklist, and I went down this line of the hall, down this line of the plane, and went over, crossed over, and came down this line. The very last child was Emma's twin brother, Ben. And I looked at him. He was 3 years old. He turned 3 the day of the earthquake. And I looked at him. I looked back at my list, and I saw there were no more kids.
Where's Emma?
And he just had this little sad look, like he knew she was not there, but he didn't know how to tell us, or there was so much going on. And that's when we realized that she was missing.
And then when I got to the embassy, she was just asleep, and she was like, "Hi, James." I'm hungry.
Well, the impact on you, I mean, this was such a big story, but you're living it. I mean, you could have been killed. You lost so much. You lost people you cared about and loved. You lost the entire...
everything.
Your life as you knew it was gone.
Even the kids, what we wanted was for the kids to be rescued and to be safe. But, in a matter of 2 or 3 days after we got back to Pittsburgh, they were all gone. So these kids that we had,
So you felt like you lost them too.
That too, yeah.
And we did.
Okay, so Jamie, you jump right back down to Haiti, pretty much, don't you?
Right after the earthquake?
Yeah, you didn't?
Both did.
You both went back down?
We spent probably for 3 months 50% here and 50% in Haiti, and then we went back full time.
Okay.
So this year, Allie's been in Pittsburgh.
And you've been in Pittsburgh because?
Partially for self-preservation. Yeah, I definitely needed to come back and regroup and start taking care of myself and dealing with the things that I hadn't dealt with as a result of all that had gone on.
Were you diagnosed with post-traumatic stress?
Yeah.
Sure. What about you? You don't have post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, I probably do, but I haven't checked it.
Jeez. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. We tried not to.
I know you two are amazingly tough, but
not tougher than that.
You man.
Can't. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I've remained here to really work on growing the organization and our group here, getting everyone really rallied up for Haitian Families First again. The interest, even in our supporters and our people that do support us already, the interest dies down after something.
Yes, it does.
Extreme.
I mean, we all have a pretty short attention span, and media do this to us too. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's move on to this one, and so you don't even. There's a vague memory. Oh, I remember those 2 sisters, some orphans, I forget, there was a plane, and it just blurs.
Mm-hmm.
It blurs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've changed your mission, but you haven't changed your commitment to this devastated nation of Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
You both feel with total certainty that is where you're going to continue to pretty much live and work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Haiti.
Yes.
You love that country. You love the people.
I was thinking that when you were just kind of describing what took us there and kept us there was the people. And so even though our mission has changed so much, it's still ultimately, we just care about the people, and specifically the kids, of course. We both have a soft spot for kids. We have since, our mom taught us that growing up. We love kids. So it's still the same thing that's keeping us there. It's the people that just need a little bit of help, and we can provide that.
what about, speaking of help, the unbelievable donations from nations all over the place and people that poured into Haiti? And then we see that even the presidential palace hasn't been rebuilt. I mean, and people are still living in what? I mean,
some people are intense.
Intense still.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense, and there's tons of studies going on right now. There's people there from all over the world trying to figure out where the money went.
Right.
And people are getting in trouble, but it's just kind of coming out right now.
So you mean there were people who where do we think the money went?
What they're saying is most of the money went toward administration for the nonprofit organizations to pay the people that work for them in the States. That's what it looks like it is going to be the end result of that. 10% went to Haiti and 90% went to pay salaries.
Well, that's like fraud, if you ask me. That's fraud.
It should
be.
And, if people hear that, they're less...
Right, exactly.
They don't want to give then. They think, well, what am I...
Right.
Now, if you give to these two, I got news for you. The money will go to what you intended to go to. These two ain't getting rich and living high on the hog in Haiti.
Right.
Or in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, our dad buys us clothes.
Your cheap father.
Our
Sorry, Mr. Brinkman, I know you're frugal. You're a frugal man, and you've taught your daughters frugality. That is good. Cheapness bad, frugality good. So, let's get these guys some money that they can then turn into hope, opportunity, possibility for these people who have so little and aren't asking for much. So go over to the South Side. Or if you don't want to party and you don't want to pig out at the candy bar, just go to the website, okay? That's all you have to do. HaitianFamiliesFirst.org.
Yep.
I'm going to do that because I can't be anywhere near a candy bar. HaitianFamiliesFirst.org and give. This is money that will go to exactly what you intend it to.
And you can follow it too on Facebook and Twitter, and we give a lot of updates about our kids and our families, and so it's real for
the website. You can definitely learn more about us too, and feel like you're definitely a part of this organization. We try to keep people real involved because it means a lot that people support us. We depend on it.
Right, they depend on it, and these guys are doing truly good, life-saving work. You're wonderful, you two. It's always great to see you.
It's good to be here.
Good luck tomorrow night. Again, the fundraiser is at what time?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Anytime. It's
at the Elixir Ultra Lounge, which is on Carson at 15th. $12 gets you in the door for a good time, for a good cause. Otherwise, if you're a stick in the mud like me, as we said, HaitianFamiliesFirst.org. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Have a good weekend. And the sun's coming out! Hee-haw! All right, that's it.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.